Welcome back. IGN Live at E3. We are joined now by the lovely Aisha Tyler.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Was nice enough to come over here right after the Ubisoft press conference.
I here from Ubi. I did.
Just saw her there.
Yeah.
Nice job again.
Thank you.
Third year in a row, you're a regular
Thank
now.
you.
I think they like you over there.
Well, I roofied everyone.
Oh, well,
all of them. And the French people, because they drink so much wine, were like, we don't even feel it. No,
your powers have, you have no power
over
here.
me. You bring me another bottle of Grenache. But yeah, I love that freaking thing. It's so much fun. That's a unique way to experience E3 to actually announce the games. It's pretty cool.
I have to ask, were you really kind of crying at the end?
I was actually crying.
Because I felt some emotions during this show too. During the Valiant Hearts trailer.
I don't want to talk about the Valiant Hearts trailer. It's too close.
So sweet.
Very emotional.
Too soon? Too soon?
Yeah. And then Damon points out it's the dog talking the whole time. I was sad enough when it was just the dog squeaks. And then it was the dog talking.
The whole time.
How does the dog develop that vocabulary, though?
He's totally turtle, Colin.
Because he's a war hero. That's
Yeah,
why.
exactly. What did you ever do for your country?
No, Rainbow Six Vegas was like my first big co-op game, and I loved that game so much. And nothing since then for me has been as fun in terms of like infiltration and strategy. And I just was like, and also from a multiplayer perspective, like the game is so fun. It's so collaborative. Just watching it was so much fun, and everything was blowing up, and then there was like a little drone, and then flashbang, and I was so happy. I really was like,
It's happening again. It's happening again, Damon. Why do you do this to us? How dare you? Just because you wear camo doesn't mean this is a war.
Yeah, it was great.
I think Nick said we have a Twitter question already for Aisha.
Ooh, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're just supposed to remind them.
Oh, then tweet at IGN
Tweet a question.
#E3 2014. Your questions get read here, and you win nothing.
Yep.
Not a thing.
Not a
You don't even win Twitter.
But at least we're honest about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, truthfulness.
So then you get to see all this stuff.
I did. I got
you get
to
see it
everything.
ahead of time.
I did. I saw everything yesterday, and I was getting the scripts and stuff like that. You know, there have been little leaks. People have been talking about what they thought they were going to see, and you know, that they were going to see Far Cry, or if they were going to see an update on AC. People were kicking around. I guess what you guys were talking about. What was the other game that everybody was all excited about?
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I don't even know that game. I was like, what are they talking
Well, it hasn't been made in like a decade. You have every right not to know it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. And then yesterday we did the whole run through, and then we cleared the theater, and I got to see it, and I was just like in the front row going. And I'm really glad it was gameplay. I'm really glad it was gameplay and not a trailer. It just felt really robust. It felt so much more urgent, like this is about to happen right now. And it just, I mean, you know, it just feel. I mean, I don't actually know how open world this game is going to be, but just from a pure like map standpoint, this feels like a really robust map to me. More robust than the last version of this game, and just with more variables and a lot. You know, just like the explosions really felt. Everything just felt great. We were talking about the fact that like something cement, you're not going to be able to blow through it. It's going to be as like authentic and grounded and real as it possibly can be. And I wonder if you can kill your hostage. I'm sure you can blow with your hostage. They just shot.
You just want to lose?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, there was right at the end there when there was one last guy on the other team, they dropped the guy and he was holding the hostage, and I was like, I think as a team, I would want to have a meeting about that after that, you know, after that infiltration was over. Be like, I would really like us to agree to not shoot at the bad guys when they're holding a hostage. I feel like that could go two ways. That could go two ways.
I was going to say, remember, this is a key moment in Speed of how to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe tell them to put the achievement / trophy in for shooting the hostage in the leg.
Yeah, that should be an issue. There should be an achievement for shooting the hostage in the leg or shooting through the hostage's shoulder to kill the bad guy. And then if you can do like a headshot, like a center headshot without hurting the hostage, I think you should should level up like 20 times.
They could do the whole RoboCop thing, shoot through a skirt.
Yep.
We should just go and make all the achievements for this game.
We can make some notes.
Every achievement is how you shoot through or around the hostage.
1,000 gamer scores, and it's just like 30.
Shooting at hostages.
What was the movie where you could bend the trajectory of your bullet?
Wanted.
We could just do that.
James McAvoy?
Yeah. I almost.
By the way, physically impossible. I don't mean physically like body. I mean like physics dictates that's impossible.
Morgan Freeman did it, so it must be.
Morgan Freeman's God, and you are not. So what did we just learn?
For a second, I really thought they had wanted B-roll for a second.
How did they do that?
Can you just watch Wanted until the Sony press conference?
Angelina Jolie was able to do it because she weighs 1 pound, and so it was heavier.
We've been kicking around fan fiction ideas here. What do you think is in this house that the people want so bad? Why do they want this lady?
Oh, yeah, so I actually asked the devs in the post-show, like, what's the deal with the hostage? And I did not get any information out. They were like, to me, the hostage is a flag. This is a really elegant game of capture the flag.
Sure, that makes sense.
The hostage is the flag. But I wonder if this is more of a tactical situation with the neighborhood. Like, they need something in that neighborhood, and they're barricaded inside the house because they're cornered.
Oh, interesting.
This is obviously multiplayer, and I said, what relationship does this multiplayer setup have to campaign? And then they told me the campaign was a secret, and then I punched him. So, no, I didn't.
Hard to believe they keep bringing you back.
I know, right? Well, you know, it's just my enthusiasm. They feel the enthusiasm. No, so I was
she
I was
broke
like,
his
what?
nose, but she really loves our games.
Well, it's like the sexy. It was the sexy nose break.
Oh.
I was asking, like, you know, is this map related to campaign in any way, or is this dynamic? Is this infiltration related to campaign? And they wouldn't tell me. So,
gotcha.
But you know, I try to think back to what the campaign was for Rainbow Six.
Right.
I don't know.
What does it matter?
You shot some terrorists.
Jacking up terrorists,
in
man.
Vegas.
That's what it was.
These bad guys doing bad things.
Spanking terrorists and blowing up slot machines.
Sneaking around the corners and shooting some terrorists.
But there was a real campaign. I mean, you were just kind of moving through. You were just clearing Vegas.
Yeah.
So maybe we're just clearing this residential neighborhood.
Right.
I played through that campaign like with friends, cooperatively. It's so fun.
God, it's
I can't
so
wait to do
fun.
that.
I mean, just that whole thing, like you move around and we're gonna flank and you're gonna roll. And that new drone I think looks really super cool. You used to have to stick your little straw under there, like a little
and then rotate
drinking
it to the
straw.
side, rotate it back.
Exactly. So that looks really cool. I thought everything looked great. I was stoked that we started with Far Cry 4. I thought it was nice to start with a big title and give people something they were looking for right away. And
Speaking of Far Cry 4, Martin Murphy asks, what are your thoughts on mimicking the Bond films by introducing a new great villain in each game? I don't know if that's really mimicking the Bond films. But.
No, I don't. I think you don't. I don't know. Are you always wanting to have the same boss fight and the same dynamic in the same location in every game you play? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems like an obvious thing to keep it fresh, is to bring you to a new place and give you a new enemy. Voss is gone. The island is gone. Now we're going to the Himalayas.
Why the frig is Voss in the Himalayas? What's he doing? He's a warm climate guy.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like the more filmic these games get, the more the narratives become robust. I don't think you want to keep meeting the same guys over again, because it's not about just like a series of boss fights. It should be about a story that moves you forward, moves the characters forward, and that the characters evolve over time.
Right.
Because I think that's what we're used to now. I mean, this is not a UB title, but like something like Gears, where people died. You know what I mean? Like those things were permanent,
and that means something.
And it meant something to you as a player. And that. So to me, I feel like what's great about what's happening right now, especially with next gen, is it's so open world. It feels so authentic, and I think the storyline needs to feel authentic as well.
Right.
Yeah.
We have another Twitter question. This one for Aisha Tyler. We're gonna put it up on the big screen. Here it comes. Boom. Julian wants to know: did Aisha Tyler get girlwood this year?
Julian, look at my shirt.
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a lady boner.
Oh, lady boner.
Lady boner. Yeah.
See, I thought it was a bone.
It
makes sense.
Come on, it's pictograms are something you learn to do when you first start drinking at 15. How have you not?
When you start drinking at 15.
So remember that cheap beer that you'd open it up and there'd be like a pictogram inside the top?
What beer is that?
Brown Derby. Oh. Yes, $3.49 for a 12-pack, my friends.
Okay. Good value.
I'm not recommending that anybody under the age of 21 drink alcohol.
All right, we have another real question on Twitter.
Another one.
Here we go.
Real talk.
Okay. Cruz wants to know, what is your dream game to be in?
That's a good question.
Well,
You're already in Watch Dogs.
It sounds like Rainbow Six.
I have actually been in my 3 top games. What? So I was a voice in Halo Reach. I was a voice in the DLC for Gears of War 3. And then now I was just in Watch Dogs. So, I mean, my 2 primary games for a long time, my primary multiplayer was Halo, my primary co-op and campaign was Gears, and I got to do both of those games. So I can't really think of a game that I'd want to be in, other than to be playable. You know what I mean? Like in both of those, I was like not playable, so it'd be great to be playable.
Now you're killable, right, in Watch Dogs.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do with the internet? All your dreams are coming true. Can I curse on your show?
We can't.
All your dreams are coming true, fuckers.
There you go.
Oh,
everyone in the room laughs. You're fine. Well, Nick grabbed his eyes. Nick wasn't thrilled with that one.
Come on, you can boot that, can't you?
I don't think we run on a delay.
I did warn you, however. But yeah, I mean, I like even just interacting with my NPC in other games, sometimes I try to kill myself. But there's just it's very exciting to be a gamer and then to hear your voice coming out of your television.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Regardless of whether the next minute you're screaming and and there's a death rattle. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Did you know? Did Ubi put you in Watch Dogs as a surprise, or did they ask you beforehand and then you saw it kind of develop?
They asked me. They said, "Do you want to do this?" And I said, "Yes." And then we had to do a bunch of photo work for the avatar. I got to see the avatar. I got to make adjustments. All that stuff. Yeah, It was really cool. I mean, Yeah, it would have been weird if like the people were just like, we're finding you in a game, and I was like,
what?
Some money.
Maybe like little Easter egg, because she does, their E3 press conference every year, so I thought maybe they put it in.
No, I had to go in and do all the
gravestones in the game.
Audio. What's that?
There's a bunch of G. Miller gravestones in the game. People tweet at me all the time.
Justice is in the game.
Yeah, then there's a Greg Miller guy who's in prison that they think. He doesn't look like me, though. So I can't imagine.
I'll make some notes because we should advise. It should look just like.
There'll be an update patch that'll just be me, a little wiener dog.
Yeah, and
in
a
jail.
tiny F for you and Portillo. What have you done? I can't discuss it.
Yeah, exactly. Turtle soup, man.
Colin Moriarty is in Fallout.
That's true.
New Vegas or Fallout 3?
Fallout 3.
Really?
Yeah, but there's a Colin Moriarty that's like a main character in it.
Oh yeah.
But it was
wait, who was that? Who was Moriarty in the game?
He was the bartender at Megaton.
Okay. God, I loved that game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
Whoa.
game.
Do you think we're going to see it tonight? I keep holding out hope that it's going to be at the PlayStation conference.
Have you heard any scuttlebutt about it being there? I got to tell you something. Fallout New Vegas was a turd.
Oh, you look at everybody just turn the cameras on them. We will be quiet.
Look, I loved Fallout 3, and I felt like New Vegas was just the shadow of that game. It wasn't as clever, it wasn't as funny, it wasn't as melancholy. The gameplay wasn't as robust, and it was super repetitive. I felt like it was just the same combat encounters over and over again.
No, I mean, some people don't like that game. I think it's really gray, like in terms of like you don't know what you're doing is good or bad. You think you're doing good things and they're bad. You think you're doing bad things and they end up being good. And I think that there's a lot of ambiguity in that game that I really enjoyed. But it's it's not Bethesda, so it doesn't have that same feel. But I actually think New Vegas is in many ways a better game than Fallout 3.
I don't even know why I talk to you anymore.
You learned your lesson last weekend.
I did. When's that episode of your show going on? Will you talk about it? Yeah.
Well, you did. So
okay.
yeah, the
I think someone needs to give me like a little hand flyer before I come here about all the things I can't
Next
do.
week on YouTube, it'll all be live. Follow Aisha.
Yeah, we had a nice, vigorous conversation.
Yeah.
Old fashioned.
Yeah, he's crazy, and he has an overwhelming amount of affection for a tiny dog that borders on creepy.
I love him.
He's super cute.
Valiant heart. You have a valiant heart.
That's why whenever Portillo was talking to you.
That's what I think.
I didn't even know.
What were you guys most excited about? Like, what was the thing that you liked most? Yeah, from
Ubisoft? Yeah, definitely Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Although I'm totally excited for both Assassin's Creed and Far Cry 4 this year.
Yeah, they both look really good to me too.
Yeah, I would say it's Far Cry 4 for me.
Yeah.
We were talking about how, beforehand, how Far Cry 3 had caught us off guard. Like, we weren't expecting it to be that amazing. It had no business being that amazing. And it was awesome. So to have more of that, and again, like, I think what Far Cry does really well, at least 3, and what 4 looks to be doing, right, is that, when you're a first-person shooter, when you're in a first-person game, I have trouble connecting with the character I'm playing as. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, I forget what he looks like and what he's doing. And like when you're talking about, like, when he took a selfie, like, you were trying to figure out if it was the guy from Fallout 3, I would have no idea. You could put 4 white guys in front of me, and I'd be like, I think that was the one from Fallout.
I just thought maybe it would be significant.
Far Cry 3. Okay, yeah.
Just maybe the reveal of who it was would be significant.
I understand.
Oh, like it was some link to the previous game.
Maybe, yeah.
So for me, when you're talking about Far Cry 3 and what looks to be in Far Cry 4, the main character of the game is the enemy.
Right.
And so, like, this enemy looks super interesting and crazy. And I thought Voss was cool or whatever. He was definitely scary, but like this guy seems like he's going to be more fun.
He seems more complex. Dan Hay, who developed the game, was saying that they wanted to create this character that was like incredibly charismatic, and he was saying it's like a friend you had in high school who was like incredibly fun to be around, but you knew if you hung out with him too much, he was going to get you into like terrible, not a little bit of trouble, like terrible trouble. And so it was like he's compelling and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
And he seems that way, right? Because he seems kind of reasonable and then super terrible.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Reasonable.
Most villains are.
Huh?
Reasonable.
Reasonable. Yeah, I made a word. I made a word during the presser. What is it? Compilation? Compellatory?
Yeah, something like that. I'm all for making up new words.
We do it every day.
Yeah, it's true. We do have a very important question from Twitter over here that we need to go to. Is Greg's shirt for real?
What is the deal with you? Another person? Yeah, this is a real shirt and it's really awesome. Do you understand that?
Also, by the way, you have to be really comfortable with your sexuality.
They've matched the
whatever that
shirt
sexuality
is.
Look at the wear a pink shirt. I think. I mean, regardless of your sexuality, whatever sex you're having, you have to be super confident about it to be wearing that thing.
Colin's not taking flack. He's wearing pink too.
Colin's shirt's awesome.
It's more like salmon.
Shirts. First of all, let me just say that I think Greg had his shirt pressed like 18 times and then starts with an inch of his life, and Colin picked up whatever thing wasn't smelly on the floor of his room and put it on.
How did you know?
It could even be smelly.
Earlier, everybody was watching. I threw somebody off the show from watching the show. Pierre, you are now banned from watching this as well. Stop watching the IGN
Are you actually like verbally
banning people from watching this? You can't enjoy this content anymore.
There's no button for this, but we're blocking you with our mouths.
Greg's going to lock the thread.
Lock the thread.
Keep watching it just to spite Greg, please.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get under my skin, follow me on Twitter and like me on YouTube and everything else. That's a real problem right there. Nothing gets me more angry than people going to, game over Greggy, whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of Watch Dogs.
I feel confused by this line of questioning.
I know. Speaking of Watch Dogs, Elliot Mason asks, when do you think Watch Dogs 2 will be announced?
Well,
not for a while.
Yeah, not for
So
a while.
it just
Although
came out.
it was pretty impressive that we had Far Cry. We had a new title, Far Cry title last year, and now we have a new Far Cry title this year.
Yeah,
that was nice and tight. Same thing with AC.
They might do the same thing with Watch Dogs because maybe they were even surprised by the success of it, the historic success of that game in its first week. I think it'll be announced next year, and then they'll maybe release it in 2016.
You think you'd have another 2 years, right?
That seems like that makes more sense.
They have the
because
engine.
These games are they've got the engine down, but still these games done well are incredibly complex, and I think there's the narrative writing separate from all the coding, and you've got to write a great game.
Right.
That's really hard to do.
And you figure Assassin's Creed gets away with it, right? Because they switch studios and they go off and on.
Right. And also there's something about AC that, like, no matter what, there's this box that those stories have to fit into.
Right.
But with Watch Dogs, I don't know. It's like, you know what? It's like being on the red carpet and someone's like, hey, congratulations on your movie. What are you doing next? I don't know, promoting the frickin' movie I'm in right now, man. Why do you? It literally has been like 45 minutes and everybody wants a new Watch Dogs.
They're excited.
It came out a week ago.
Yeah, that's the never-ending battle for developers. 3 years, 4 years on a game, and literally it's out in 2 days later.
In a day or two, right? So they're like, all right, I'm ready for the next one.
And I also think if these guys rush games, you get something half-baked, like Fallout New Vegas. So if you want a great title, be patient. Be patient.
We have another fun Twitter question, I'm told.
Fun?
A fun Twitter question.
That's my favorite kind of Twitter
Remember,
question.
retweet at us at IGN, #E3.
Matthew Stokes, is there any chance we will see you again next year? Yep.
Well, unlike developers, I'm happy to be asked that question. First of all, thank you for being Team Lana Kane. I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I will say that what I said during the presser is true. I really love being at that thing. I am a fan. I freak out. I got to see everything yesterday. I was as excited watching it a second time today as I was seeing it for the first time. I was so excited for the R6 reveal. I was like, my nose was pressed against the monitor. So I hope I get to go back.
Close to the TV.
But I want to see what's happening. I mean, this is really fun for me. It's not work. I love being here, and it was really cool doing the post show and talking to the developers about how the games came together. And we'll see. I'm going to be on the floor this week because E3 isn't even over yet, guys.
Hasn't even started.
So I'm going to be on the floor. I'm going to go check out. What are you guys excited about seeing on the floor?
Well, so Greg and I, all the games come to us.
You don't? Because you're stuck in this 1,000-degree auditorium.
Well, we'll actually be on the show floor, but it'll probably be hot there too. But then the developers bring all the games to us to show us the demos, and we live stream them for our viewers.
Which you can watch at IGN.com.
Yeah. But Colin, what are you going to go play on the floor?
I have a lot lot of behind closed door demos for a ton of places.
That sounds creepy.
It does sound a little creepy.
Yeah.
A little cool, a little creepy, kind of mix them up a little bit. I'm going to be with PlayStation a lot, doing a lot of stuff there, Namco Bandai, or now it's Bandai Namco, I'm sorry.
They just switch off.
Yeah, they put the other one in front of the other one. I'm seeing some Atlas games, and so, yeah.
Is there a title that you're, is there like anything?
A lot of the things are unannounced. It's like unannounced title,
right?
You know? Right. And so my hope, my dream is that Uncharted 4 is one of those games. But we'll see.
There you go.
I'm excited to see some of the peripherals. Like, there's apparently some haptic vest that's supposed to be kind of cool, where like you get to feel like bullet impacts and stuff like that.
Sounds like a great time.
Don't you think that'd be fun? Yeah, just like John wooing it out in your living room, right?
Please stop the demo. I'm soft bones. They call me Mr. Glass.
So that would be cool. I saw the Oculus V1, and I want to see Oculus Rift. There's a V2 on the floor. That'll be cool to check out. The first one I saw it the other day at Facebook, and it was super fun. Your brain, the way your brain processes information is mostly visually, and I think it really tricks your brain into thinking that whatever you're looking at is happening. Yeah. I did this thing, and I was like, I feel a little pukey. So I'm excited to see the new one because it's
supposed to be gotten better.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that was more about me believing what I was seeing and less about just like kind of disorientation. It was just, I was like, wee.
Right. I done one when they brought the HD unit by where they were doing the tabletop real-time defense game. I forget what it's called, but like I went went to lean in, and like the edge of the table was there, and I did one of these, and I was like, oh wait, like I can clip through the table. I don't need to worry about the table.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine like in completion when that thing is really sophisticated, that is going to be a pretty exciting tool.
Some next level crap.
Some next level. I feel bad because I feel like I just came here. I'm just like a potty mouth.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to get you all in trouble. I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to get a lecture. Someone's going to tell you to start ironing your shirts.
No, I'm not going to iron the shirt because it's just too much. I'll put it in the shower. You know, I'm taking it and hope that does the trick because that's the best I can usually do.
I ironed this one last night, and then but it's one of those things when you use that hotel iron. You know, the water comes out the side, and then it looked like it stained the shirt, but I think I got away clean.
It like leaks. It like leaks the remnants of the previous user's like fluids, and you're like, I don't know what this was.
Although your attire is fascinating. Getting back to Rainbow Six for a moment, just for a moment.
Getting back to the game we've talked 45 minutes about. My apologies, sir. I know we're disappointing our audience.
There's a guy over there. Yeah. No, there's no guy.
No, not even a guy.
The cast of the Division trailer.
Shay Cormo says, more like Rainbow Sick. Am I right?
Oh, man.
That's what you could stop me to talk about.
That was essential. That was an essential tweet.
That was critical. We should stop down and illustrate that. Do we have anybody on staff who could draw a picture to go along with that tweet?
Yeah, we had to get back to
Well, you know what was interesting, actually, is we saw Division gameplay last year.
Yeah.
And then we saw a trailer this year.
You missed it. They showed Division gameplay during the Microsoft conference.
Oh, yeah, I was doing other stuff. That's the other thing. Like, you guys get to see everything.
Right.
And I was doing my other job and then rushing down here just for this, so I missed a lot of stuff. So how did the gameplay look? Was it great? I can't wait to see it on the floor.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks really cool.
That was my favorite. It was my favorite reveal last year. Like, I was really excited about that. So I'm excited to go actually play it this year because I think it was just a demo last year.
Yeah. What I liked about it is that I feel like what you're talking about is true. I had more of a complete photo after I put a picture of it all when I put it together, right? Playing through, you're like, oh, right, there is. I remember liking the Division, right? But this demo I thought made it look even more like End of the World in New York. And it was like, oh, okay, these are survivors. And then when I saw the trailer, it was like, oh, okay, like you're this band of people going around trying to keep things together.
Right, trying to save lives.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And I mean, last year, did they show multiplayer this morning? Did they show?
Yeah, it was more multiplayer.
I thought the multiplayer looks really cool, like air support, and you know, like you can kind of do like remote strategies. And
this was more like 4 players on the ground walking around talking, instructing each other how to go. It's funny, you can tell the difference between the Microsoft show and the Ubi show because in the Microsoft show they have all right, you go, you flank that way, blah, blah. Nobody's cursing, nobody's yelling. And then you jump into the Ubi show and everybody's like, oh, my beep, beep. You know,
exactly. It was like we opened the show last year with Far Cry 3 with just boobs.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hey, if I say a bad word, is that going to be okay? And then titties. And I was like, all right, I think I'm all right. I think I can do it.
You're like, I found my people.
I really have. The French. It's the French, really. It's the European sensibility.
Next you come out drinking wine with them. Everybody comes out with a glass of wine just talking about their game.
Great. Don't tease me with a good time.
Maybe you guys can help. I'm not sure I understand this question. Casey asks, what do you guys think of Ubisoft switching their long partnership with Sony to Microsoft? Oh, is that because they showed Assassin's Creed during the Microsoft conference?
Yeah, I mean, they used to. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but in years past, at least the last couple of years, they'd play their stuff on PlayStation hardware.
I see.
And I think they were now playing their stuff on Xbox hardware. That's maybe what he was referring to.
Yeah, was there any talk of, like, with an exclusive 30 minutes or DLC, something like that?
I didn't see anything like that.
No.
But
I didn't see anything like that either. I mean, when we were talking about what games were going to be on what platforms, they were, for the most part, they were universal.
Oh, yeah. It's just business. You got to spread the love.
Business.
Getting down to that dirty business.
Lewis Slater asks, why no Splinter Cell? Would think they would want to release a new one for when the film comes out, which is I'm not even sure when.
Yeah, is the film coming out?
Yeah,
soon?
is that really thing?
There's already a Tom Clancy game that I don't think you want to have too much Tom Clancy covert kind of stuff.
We just had
titles at one time.
Conviction, was that the last one?
Blacklist was the last one, which is very, very good. I liked Blacklist a lot.
But that wasn't even that long ago, right? That was last year.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
I
it was
also
right
think
before
people
the
don't understand what a massive undertaking it is to develop a video game.
Yeah.
They're just like, why know all of the other titles I've been playing since I was 11? I mean, like, it's like thousands of Oompa Loompas buried in the basement of Microsoft are working on these things. And eventually they just run out of Oompa Loompas. They can't put any more people on a game. And I think also you don't
want to... if you understand how video games are made.
These tiny orange men in white overalls coding and drinking melted chocolate out of a river. I mean, I think you also, like you said, you don't want to have too many games that kind of tread the same gameplay territory. You're not able to put all your energy behind like one great title each year. Yeah, so that's the reason why, buddy.
There you go, nailed it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Aisha Tyler answered you.
Yeah.
Aisha Tyler, thank you so much for joining us today.
You know what?
We think
It was
you're fabulous.
a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I'm going to see you guys on the floor, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swing by the booth, say hey.
I'm not coming to your booth.
No, come to us for a change. All right?
I just did. I've done it twice. There's like enough of you and that pink shirt.
Oh, right,
and
the pink shirt is
theater,
cool, everybody.
And Colin with his wrinkled clothes.
on,
and this guy who just joined Special Forces Blazer Unit.
Yeah, that's where I am.
I don't even know why I'm here.
How awesome would it be if, like, when you're like, they do like the thing in the Oval Office where like the president's getting instructed by generals.
Yeah.
They wore these though.
Yes. Yeah. Where did you train? At Hugo Boss.
At Nordstrom's, actually.
Everyone, download Aisha's Girl on Guy podcast. Watch
you
her on
guys
Archer.
listen to me and Greg. Greg over here talking on my podcast, girlandguy.net.
Right, there you
Watch
go.
me on Archer. Season 6 starts in January, but you can download it now. Netflix and iTunes and all
everywhere.
the things everywhere on the internet. Watch me every day on the Talk on CBS. Watch me on Monday nights at 8 o'clock on the CW, hosting Whose Line Is It Anyway?
You got a book too.
I have a book. It's called Self-Inflicted Wounds. It was a New York Times bestseller. It's super funny. Lots of curse words in it, as you can tell. And it's there's got to be like one other thing.
You get that you like optioned your life, but it's not a thing.
Yeah,
yet.
that's not.
Don't
a
worry
thing.
about that.
That's
Don't talk
not
about
a thing
that.
Yet. But yeah, visit me at AishaTyler.com, Aisha Tyler, Twitter, blah blah.
You're
blah.
touring too.
But come,
Go to tours.
I am touring. I'm on
Yeah,
tour. I just that's why I saw Greg and Colin, because I was in San Francisco performing live, and I visited your home, and it wasn't creepy at all.
Not at all.
We're visiting the viewers' homes right now. Next up, we're going to set the stage for the Sony press conference.
Finally.
Colin's going to stick around. We're going to bring on Brian Altano. First, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.